The men were work for a individual Ruski business named Wagner, that has shipped hundreds of individual contractors to Syria to assist both of the Ruski war and pro-Fi regime forces, on to human beings who knew them. One of the corps was 51-year-old Vladimir Loganov. Love lot contractors who include lost to Syria. He was a term of a Kazakh team of ultranationalists who include as well fought in East Ukraine. The Baltic Kazakh area told in a declaration how Loganov was a Ruski individual who was annihilated in an uneven fight time, valiantly protecting our homeland in its far reaches of mad barbarians while he dead on February 7. Vladimir, dead for the homeland, the Cossacks and the Orthodoxy belief, the team told. Their goal was a basis of the US-backed Syriac more democratic forces, that came by ordnance flame. A U.S. Emotia was at the basis. The U.S. answered in airstrikes how annihilated on 100 of the rioters, onto the coalition, in the otherwise receding. One of the Russians annihilated was Kirill Ananyev, onto his boyfriend Alexander Avrin. He told Ananyev had been in Syria a slight above a year and how he had been annihilated while US ordnance crushed the Wagner bloc. Avrin told he believed how human loss amongst the Russians this amounted to more than rather than same common Wagner losing a pair of human beings. Largest of the human loss, on to regional source, seemed to include been members of a pro-Fi regime believer police of the city of Al-Sakalabiya. Over the 1 week, down there was a massive burial for on 30 members of the police, that frequently describes himself as the ISIS hunting, in the city. 2 sons of a visible pedigree lead were as well annihilated, onto public media posts of Syria. Wagner, that is by U.S. sanctions regime for support separatists in East Ukraine, has few 100 contractors in Syria, onto analysts. In December, Nikolai Tikhonov of Tomsk was annihilated in the region of the Hama Idlib Railway, onto a public media position of the Rus Patriot team to that he belonged. 2 Wagner contractors who were seized by ISIS in November include not been heard of with emerging in a live video quickly following creature withdrawn. They are believed to be corpse, on to Ruski officials. U.S. perplexed U.S. Defense Registrar General James Mattis has told how the U.S. was perplexed by the assault closed air as a recent 1 week. Same Russians said us they had no forces down there initially. I believe how's yet the instance but we don't include complete clearness on which the mode forces are making down there, Mattis told above the weekend. The US and Ruski militaries include deconfliction channels to hinder random clashes in Syria and alarm every some to movements. Same Russians pretended how they were not aware while we named them on how strength how had crossed same Euphrates. As it came near they were informed while the shooting began, Mattis told. No one the Kremlin nor the Ruski Ministry of Defense negotiations on individual war contractors in Syria. Kremlin representative Dmitry Peskov told Tuesday, we include no data concerning some Russians who may be in Syria. It is really hard to estimation the quantity of Russians work as war contractors in Syria and the quantity who are annihilated. For days, idle talk include swept via Ruski public print how far more than rather than a fistful of Wagner contractors were annihilated in recent 1 week's betrothal. On Monday permissive President applicant Grigory Yavlinsky told, if large Ruski human loss took location, later pertinent officials must declare that to the nation and discover out who is accountable. Kremlin representative Peskov discarded Yavlinsky's statement, proverb, I don't believe Yavlinsky has more than safe source rather than the. Down there were lot Ruski countrymen across the sea, Peskov told, or he's really difficult to include comprehensive data.